Hello and welcome back to the Emotionless podcast. I'm going to go ahead and apologize right now if you hear obscene coughing, which you actually won't hear because I will cut it out in editing. Any of that, which is me chewing on cough drops. Or random cuts, and that's because I coughed and fucking hacked like a fucking old man, because I am sick as shit. Today's episode is episode 37. Title 9, Part 26, I think. I'm starting to lose track, to be honest. Called March 12th, 2021, Part 2. So in Part 1, we discussed how the Title 9 coordinator pulled me into her office and gave me the information that I was being officially accused of sexual misconduct. Was the official term that they used. I don't like this term. I think it's the wrong term. I don't think it properly... I suppose it, properly says what I did, but it just sounds bad. Because all I did was fuck around a little bit. The same way she fucked around with me, and I thought nothing of it because nothing was ever said. At least not that I remember, or that any of my friends remember, or that any of her friends remember. She's the only one that remembers saying anything, but, you know. So, I'm over at the counseling center, and my counselor gets that call that we talked about in the previous episode. She told me that in the call they never, disclosed what we talked about, just that I blew up in the office, and that just to check in on me, that I'm not in trouble, they're not mad at me. It's we talked about some really hard stuff, and I'm not surprised that he blew up, but I just want someone to check in on him because it was a rough conversation, and I think somebody should check in on him. And then before she could even come out and check on me, she got another call. She actually got the call mid the other call, so it went to hold. And it was campus security, who, like I told you, is not allowed in the counseling center unless called in by a student or counselor who is actively in the counseling center. Campus security, or campus safety, whatever you want to call it, comes in, or calls, and is like, hey, Logan is threatening to kill himself. I don't really know what's going on. I didn't get a lot of information. Just make sure we put him on lockdown and check on him. Make sure he's not allowed to leave campus until someone speaks with him. Because that's the protocol. Or at least that's the protocol that I was told. So 10 or 15 minutes later, I'm pulled into the office, and Allie just looks me up and down and goes, "You've had a day, huh, bud?" And I'm like, Yeah, I have. She's like, "Should we talk about it?" I'm like, I don't know what I want to talk about at this point. There's so much going on. I don't really know what I want to talk about. And she's like, "Well, let's break it down bit by bit like we always do." And at this point, it was 4:35. Counseling center closes at 6. And she's like, "I'm going to look you dead in the eyes and tell you this, bud. I'm supposed to be out of here at 6, but from everything I've heard, I don't care if I'm here till 8:30. We are going to get to the bottom of what's going on, and I'm going to help you." And I'm like, "Okay, if you insist." So, we sit in that office for a while, and basically, I'm trying to explain this, and she's like, and then she goes, "I'm going to stop you right there." And she's kind of snickering. She's like, "A female accused you, quite possibly one of the gayest men I know, of sexual misconduct?" And then she started snickering and laughing. I'm like, And she's like, "I'm sorry for laughing, bud, but you are so gay. You are not going to do anything." And I'm like, Literally the only reason I'm not laughing right now is because I'm scared. She was like, I'm so sorry for laughing. I'm like, it's funny. It's funny. It's legitimately funny. And, so, I'm telling her everything that's going on. And then she goes, I'm sorry, I can't wrap my head around it. Huh? She's like so confused. And I mean, I'm confused. I think everyone's confused. I think honestly, even the Title IX coordinator was confused. Um, so, um, you know, um, we're sitting there, we're talking. I start to panic a little bit, and she gives me an ice cold Gatorade to like calm down a little bit. Um, and all I remember next was I can't say remember. It's all kind of fuzzy from this point. And I think that's because I was under so much emotional stress, I didn't really know what was going on. And so we end up our session. I'm going to leave the rest of it pretty confidential just because there's just a lot that happened and I don't want to talk about everything. But she was just like, that's rough. We will definitely have to talk about this in your counseling session next week. I can schedule earlier if you need to. And I'm like, I will email you back Monday if I need it. I think I'm okay right now, but I'll email you back if I need it. And she's like, okay, no problem. You let me know. I'll make room. I'll leave appointments open just for you. And then, all I remember next is I remember, so in light of the effects of COVID-19, there was like this, like, I want to say circus tent because this whole place is a fucking clown show. There was like this literal circus tent. Hi, editing Logan here. Enjoy the next like 2.5 minutes of this clip, which is me laughing hysterically, well, as hysterical as someone can with bronchitis, at the fact that my college set up a circus tent for student dining behind the student hall. Yeah, I don't know. There's like this whole ass fucking circus tent. Oh, I can't do that because I can't laugh because it makes me cough. And it's like really bad right now. Okay, so there's this whole ass fucking circus tent set up outside of what's called the student center, which is where their like white trash dining hall is right now. When I say it was a white trash dining hall, I mean it was literally a white trash dining hall. This fucking school installed a fucking kitchen in the middle of a carpeted student area in less than like 2 months because they were renovating the dining hall and they're like, here, you can have a white trash dining hall while we're doing this. And all I remember after that is I, I I'm sitting under this circus tent, right? And underneath the circus tent, underneath this circus tent, breathe, look, and you can do this. And underneath the circus tent, oh, oh my god, oh my god, is it? That's the end of this episode, bitch.